Monster Jam Studios, I'm Scott Jordan with this edition of the Weekly Update. We're coming off the biggest weekend of the season as all 5-point series were in action with 17 events across the country. We've got a lot to get through in a short amount of time, so buckle up, Buttercup, and let's get down to it. This week we start with the Arena Championship Series West, and as the White Stripes said, we're going to Wichita! On Saturday afternoon, the Intrust Bank Arena was popping, and Brandon Vincent came into the event with the largest points lead in Monster Jam, and he would waste little time adding to it. And the Great Clip Skills Challenge comes off the pod with a stoppy, little teeter-totter action, then the moonwalk back up the pod, stoppy in the middle, nose is out, and watch this, hits the throttle, flips the truck, wheelie on the backside, and hello Jurassic attack. Brandon Vincent wins the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge. And in freestyle, Gravedigger takes over, huge air out of the box. It comes back on the other side, more big air right into the stoppy save and into the freestyle win. So Brandon Vincent gets the event championship, and if you're keeping score at home, that's now 7 out of the last 8 trophies going to Digger's Dungeon. On Saturday night in the racing final, it's David Olford in Jurassic Attack up against Tristan England in Earthshaker. Earthshaker at a good rhythm, but the Triceratops on a rail, and by a truck length, Jurassic Attack gets the win. And then in freestyle, Olford with a big jump off the tire stack, clears the pod, and then the bicycle stoppy from 1 BKT to 2, then the moonwalk, and David Olford gets the freestyle win, and the man we call Too Tall walks out of Intrust Bank Arena with the event championship. In freestyle, Darren Miguez got the nod to go last in what will be the final competition of his 17-year Monster Jam career. After a final lap around the track, Nitro Menace gets some air and then a wheelie and ends his run the same way. Sky wheelie, beautiful wheelie combo. Darren Miguez wins freestyle and takes one final bow. The hugs ensue, and right there, that's why he's leaving. Happy retirement, Darren, and on behalf of the entire Monster Jam universe, thank you for 17 years of wonderful memories. Let's take a look now at the series points standings. The lead for Gravedigger now up to a massive 80 points. Tristan England still in second, Bernard Light in third, David Olford fourth, and Travis Mowry in Rockwell Red rounds out your top 5. Arena Championship Series West heads to the Moda Center in Portland with 3 events beginning Saturday at noon. Stadium Championship Series Yellow was back in Anaheim in front of another sold-out crowd at Angel Stadium. And we go to the racing final. Ryan Anderson, fresh from the burn yard, meets Charlie Pauken, and it's Anderson out of the berm first, but not by much. Son of a Digger so quick on the turn. Watch the finish. Wow, by an inch and a prayer, maybe less, is Ryan Anderson winning racing. In the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Anderson takes Son of a Digger, powered by Hoonigan, on a leisurely bike ride to Walmart, and then boom goes the dynamite, some whirly bird action, and the cyclone. Now to summarize so far, Ryan Anderson wins racing. Ryan Anderson wins the Great Clip Skills Challenge. You know where I'm going with this. In freestyle, Son of a Digger, powered by Hoonigan, puts on a show under the Hollywood lights. Had to be Caleb Blood's 9.298, and would he ever. Skies it and flies it with a big air, and then the step up. Vertical sky wheelie on the backside, and then driving right past Gravedigger to the backflip ramp, hits the save, and there's wheels flying everywhere in Anaheim. Ryan Anderson does get the perfect event, and he is your event champion. Now back in 2019, Camden Murphy would face Bari Musauer in the semifinal round at World Finals 20. We all know what happened there. So on Sunday, a shot at redemption for Murphy. Bakugan and Zombie in the racing final. Camden Murphy letting her eat. Great corner from Camden, then soars across the finish line, and Bakugan Dragonoid is your racing winner. But in freestyle, Bari Musauer, who has turned into an absolute beast in this competition, would light it up. Lines up for a huge jump, hits it hard, driving right over the berm. How about a backflip? Lands it, and wow moment time, Bari just soars it. Zombie face gone, and Bari Musauer with his 3rd freestyle win of the season. He is now the freestyle king of Anaheim. Now, Bakugan would finish 2nd in freestyle but win the event championship, and Camden Murphy celebrates another victory at the home of Spin Master. We take a look now at the series points. Ryan Anderson still with a big lead, Tyler Menega in 2nd, but there is Camden Murphy nipping at his heels in 3rd, Charlie Pauken in 4th, and Bari Musauer rounding out the top 5 on Stadium Championship Series Yellow. This series now travels to El Paso, Texas for 2 events at the UTEP Sun Bowl beginning on Saturday night. Stadium Championship Series Red fired up the engines in the Motor City at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Now, unfortunately, while I was there, I did not get to eat mom's spaghetti, but I did get a Bryce Kenny racing win. The Guinness World Record holder was on fire through the bracket, and in the finals, he meets up with Adam Anderson. Now, going into this race, Bryce just 8-20 in his career against Adam, and Anderson would get lane choice switched over to the gray lane, and it would cost him. Adam Anderson did have the lead at the halfway point, but the gray side got rocky, and Kenny takes a perfect corner on the final turn, and Bryce Kenny, with his first racing win of the season, drives all the way around the track, noses right up to Anderson to rub it in. You gotta love the confidence. Tom Meents pulling out something different in the Great Clip Skills Challenge with the big air into the stoppie, and he gets the win. Different story though in freestyle. Max D blew out a shot just 1 second away from qualifying for a score, but no score here for Tom Meents. Gravedigger also out due to a broken spindle, so an unprecedented turn of events in Detroit, but let's get to the move of the night. Colvinard sets up the Black Pearl for the backflip, lands it, and walks the plank. One of the coolest moves in all of Monster Jam. Keeps it going with a wheelie, and the wheel just literally falls off the wagon, and Colvinard is your event champion. On Sunday, more troubles for Gravedigger in freestyle. Comes off the ramp right into Max D, and this time broke the housing. And for the second time in Detroit, no score for Adam Anderson. Todd LeDuc would take advantage. Check out the backflip, perfect execution, and then wait for it. LeDuc leap at Ford Field, huge air, body shreds, and Blue Thunder takes the freestyle win. Tom Meents though takes the event championship, and in his 25th year, the Professor continues competing at a high level. He stays on top of the series points. As we take a look, Todd LeDuc in second, a little bit of a deficit now for Adam Anderson in third, Colvinard fourth, and Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior rounding out the top five. Now, this point series takes a break for a month. It will resume in April, but you can still see some of the stars of Stadium Championship Series Red this weekend with 3 events at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum in Biloxi beginning on Saturday afternoon. Allentown, Pennsylvania was the home for 5 events on Arena Championship Series East, and Gravedigger's Weston Anderson looked to continue his phenomenal rookie season. On Friday night, the series points leader led Gravedigger to the freestyle win, and Weston Anderson is your event champion. On Saturday, though, Cody Saucier not going down without a fight, dragging against Stone Crusher in the final round, and Cody Saucier, one of the best roundy-round racers in the sport, gets the racing win and his first championship of the weekend. On Saturday night, the Gravedigger Gravy Train continues to roll on, and Weston Anderson in the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge with the popper, moonwalk back up, and the huge bounce hits reverse stoppy wheelie combo, and Gravedigger gets the win and makes it 2 out of 3 for the title. He would add his 11th event championship of the season on Sunday afternoon, and on Sunday night pulled off the wow moment of the weekend in freestyle. Check this out. Just throws Gravedigger across the tire stack into a stoppie. The other side, he hits the moonwalk, then reverse pirouette. I don't even know what to call it. How about the moon flare? This kid is just unreal. But hey, let's give Armando Castro some love here. Sunday night in the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge. Check out El Toro Loco. The body gone after 5 events. Gets a stoppie, moonwalks it back, but holds it right here in the middle of the ramp. Then edges it back down, no hands on the wheel, and now there's no wheel. Armando dangling it out of the cab, and Castro gets the win and takes the event championship. Weston Anderson wins the weekend, taking 3 out of 5, now increases the series points lead, just putting together quite possibly the greatest rookie season in Monster Jam history. Cody Saucier in second, Armando Castro third, Brianna Mahan in fourth. Arena Championship Series East is off to the Simmons Bank Arena in Little Rock, Arkansas, with 2 events beginning on Saturday night. Arena Championship Series Central took over a Monster Jam staple, the All-State Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, for 5 events. Over 50,000 fans filed in over the weekend to see what has been so far the most competitive series in the sport. On Friday night, Elvis Linus started with a racing win and took that all the way to the event championship. Saturday afternoon, Max D gets a shot in the racing final, this time against Soldier Fortune Black Ops, and Max D had to play catch-up, but turns it around the turn box, and Blake Granger gets in the win column, and he would take the trophy into Saturday night. We go to freestyle in primetime Saturday in Allentown, and Elvis Linus trying to fight off Kristen Anderson for the trophy, and he would get it done. Huge air off the tire stack, then an even bigger jump over the pod, and over end, comes down hard on the nose, but Elvis with the save, and Elvis is in the building with his second championship of the weekend. On Sunday afternoon, Kristen Anderson hits the 8-pack. Beautiful backflip on her way to a freestyle win, but Blake Granger in Max D does just enough to get the championship, his second at the All-State Arena. Now, we've been talking about Elvis Lainez and Blake Granger and Kristen Anderson, but where is Tony Oaks? He's right there. Coming in hot on Sunday night, big moves in freestyle, hits a stoppie, takes it back up the pod, then hits the 8-pack, comes off the side a bit, but gets it back on all 4 BKTs. Take a bow, sir. Tony Oaks grabs the event championship. Kristen Anderson unable to get a trophy over the weekend, but it doesn't matter. She is still the series points leader as we take a look at the standings. Tony Oaks in second, Blake Granger third, Elvis Lainez fourth, John Zimmer Jr. in fifth, and Zach Garner in sixth. Arena Championship Series Central has a bye week before returning to action on Saturday, March 12th at the Frank Irwin Center in Austin, Texas. My guest this week is coming off his first racing competition win of the year and has built up quite the resume over his career, including Guinness World Record holder, Outreach Award winner, and of course being Adam Anderson's best friend. Calling in from High Point, North Carolina, it's my pleasure to welcome Bryce Kenny to the show. Bryce, thanks so much for joining me. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to make the midweek update here.
You got it, man. So let's get right to it. The fact that you are now in the Guinness Book of World Records, that's got to mean something special to you, right?
Oh, it does, and I think what was cool is I had not actually seen the Guinness World Record book, the actually printed version, until Christmas. And so my wife got it for me. I got to sit there with my kids and flip to that page. So it was incredibly special for me. My 4-year-old thought it was super cool. And that Guinness World Record book, man, that was the best connection to what my background has been in professional drag racing versus what my life is now, what I'm pushing forward to now. I love my history with professional drag racing, but I'm excited about my career in Monster Jam, and I hope I get to do this for years to come. And it's fun to connect the two through that Guinness World Record.
Talk about your work off the track. Obviously you're an ambassador for Great Clips and the whole brand. You've been an ambassador for St. Jude in the past as well. You are the Monster Jam Outreach Award winner. Talk a little bit about what it means to you to be Bryce Kenny off the track for the fans of Monster Jam and to bring a new level of respect to a Monster Jam athlete to the people that are outside the sport.
Well, I think that the big part about being Mohawk Warrior to me isn't the Mohawk, it's the Warrior. And, we all have such a limited amount of time on this planet, and I'm passionate about trying to make an impact while I have an opportunity. When this whole chapter is over for me, when I don't get to drive a race car anymore or a monster truck anymore, I will look back with regrets, and I'll look back with things that I was happy that I did. I will never regret getting to reach my hand out and help someone else, lift them up and bring them up into the sport. I'm becoming much more passionate now than I ever have been about finding the next generation of drivers. But there's so many people out there that are true warriors, and whether that's pediatric cancer or people just going through a hard time, let's start making a difference, because you never know how far those ripple effects will really go.
I do want to break some news here. A deal was reached in the hallway at the Hilton Garden Inn in Detroit. I will be Bryce and Adam's guest on Gears and Nachos, a very special edition in April in Seattle. But you can catch Bryce and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior back in action Friday, March 18th in Hidalgo, Texas. Bryce, thanks so much for hanging out, man. I look forward to seeing you in Seattle.
Hey, thanks, man. It just took so long for us to be able to afford you to come on to Gears and Nachos. So I'm glad that you agreed to our fee and came down to our level to be able to join us, man. We're going to have a lot of fun, but I appreciate you having me on.
Looking forward to it, man. Take care. Let's take a look at this week's power rankings. No change in the top 4. Anderson, Mintz, Vincent, and LeDuc stay put. Camden Murphy slides into the top 5 after an event championship in Anaheim. Charlie Pauken up 2 spots to number 7, and Adam Anderson tumbling down to number 8. Meanwhile, his brother Weston entering the top 10. He rises 2 spots to number 9, and Zombies Barry Musauer once again rounds out the top 10. For the full list of the power rankings, head on over to monsterjam.com. This is your weekly reminder to make your reservations now for Orlando, Florida, May 21st and 22nd. Monster Jam World Finals returns to Camping World Stadium for the biggest event of the year, and I want to see you there. For more information and to register to win the VIP experience of a lifetime, head on over to monsterjam.com. Our 2022 television debut on CNBC is now just a few short weeks away, so make sure you join us on Saturday, March 26th at noon Eastern for 3 hours of coverage, beginning with round 1 in Oakland. Join Colt, Leslie, and I for 26 rounds of coverage with another exciting season of Monster Jam on NBC Sports. Now, as soon as I sign off here, make sure you give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Go over to Facebook, give us a like, and head on over to YouTube, become a subscriber, and unlock over 20 years of Monster Jam history. And we're about out of time here this week. I celebrate my 44th birthday with a rare weekend off. But hey, if you're in the Orlando area, you will find me living large at Sesame Street Land and SeaWorld. I'll be the guy sweating profusely as I chase my 3 kids around the park on their quest to find Elmo all day long. Have fun in Monster Jam. Have a great weekend. I'll see you right back here next week on the Monster Jam Weekly Update.